Good morning, everyone. I know y'all are waiting on part 2 of this. It's not happening today. I've got so many things I need to do. I had to cut out my yard. My lawnmower's tore up, so it got bush hogged. Cat and dog were amused. But I still need to weed eat. It's getting hot. I'm not doing that. I got other things I need to do. So we're gonna let this sit for right now. I may try this evening, may try in the morning, get it broke loose. If I do, I'll video it. But we're gonna work on that. Strut rods, you may or may not know what that is on Ford, but the lower A-arms are not A-arms. They have bars that go right about there. I'm gonna snack on either side of the front end, and then they go over to the lower A-arm. They have bushings in them. Those are the original bushings. They are no longer existent, and I haven't been able to drive this car because it's eating the front tires. I have new strut rods. I bought bushings, and the nut has rusted and has become one with the strut rods. So it will not come off. You can't get to it because it's up in a hole. Can't really put heat on it, right? It's because it's right below the radiator. So I've got some of the nut busters that you just stick on there and cut the nuts in half and then get them off. So we're going to try that today. I'm not going to do that here in the dirt. I'm going to carry it over to our shop and do that. She's been sitting for a couple weeks. I haven't drove it. So y'all get a cold start. Everybody loves a cold start. This is not a one-handed procedure, as all old vehicles are. This one has its quirks. So let's see, I can sit you over here and do this. The water bottle will come in handy. Maybe. All right. The park switch is out of adjustment, so you have to pull up on this. And yeah, for those that haven't heard this car, she is a 302 running 2 1/4 exhaust with 40 series Flowmasters turned down directly in front of the rear end. Let me get it out of here and we'll go for a drive. Had to wash the windshield, couldn't see out. Oh. A little brief history on this car. It was brought into a junkyard by the guy who owned its grandfather. Hadn't run since the early 80s. The inspection sticker is still on it for the last year it was inspected. I don't remember exactly what year it is, but the brake booster was off of it, and she'd been sitting. Took a couple weeks to get the carburetor to clean up. It was full of black goo. Gas tank was rotten. Brake lines had rusted off. The rest of the car was really solid. No rust in the floor pans, trunk. The only real rust the car has is at the fender wells in the back. So I got it, brought it home, got it running, and found out that 1968 Ford Galaxies used 3 different brake boosters. One of them is really rare and nobody makes it anymore. So I had to make a bracket so I could work the brakes without the booster, sent the booster off, had it rebuilt. Took 3 times to finally get the booster fixed. Turned out it had a bent rod inside of it that was needing to be reused because parts are scarce. Shout out to Harmon Classic Brakes for working with me. If I can tag on my wheel, real great guy to work with. Got this thing sorted out, and it has power brakes again. Car's a pleasure to drive, rides like a boat. Put new suspension on it, all stainless steel brake lines while I was working, getting it set up. But like I said, the bushings, they have come completely apart. Car drives down the road just perfectly fine. Hand's not on the steering wheel and she's going straight. So we're gonna get this fixed. She's all original, still got the C4 transmission in it. Still had the original fuel pump on it when I got it. I had to put a fuel pump, clean the carburetor, rebuild it. Of course, you know, points. Oh, actually, I didn't put points condenser on it. They looked like they had been replaced right when I got the car. Put a cap rotor button. And yeah, I've been driving and enjoying this car. But, like I said, strut rod's messed up. I can't do much because it's eating the tires. So we're going to try to fix that today. Hopefully they will come off. But let me get the doors open and get her pulled inside, and we'll see what we can do. Okay, let's give a tour. I have pulled the valve covers off, repainted them just for, you know, looks. And it did have the original alternator on it when I got it, but the belt needed to be replaced. When I was replacing the belt, bolt broke off. So for the price of that alternator, it was cheaper just to put an alternator on it was to fight it. As you can see, we have a new air conditioning compressor, new air conditioning lines. There is the rebuilt brake booster, stainless steel lines, new master cylinder. Follow the new lines out here. We have a new condenser, which you can actually get. Radiator. That is another part that doesn't exist. This was a one model only body, and that was the only thing that was used on. You can't buy them. I had to have it built. These are the original tanks. They put a whole new core. He reused all the old structure. You can see the rust on it, so it looks like the original stuff for the car, because it is. I haven't even put new radiator hoses on this car. Actually, no. I think I'm lying to you. I did put new radiator hoses on it. I put new spark plug wires, new plugs on it, trying to get rid of a miss. This is the vacuum valve for your heater. Doesn't work, so I cheated. Manual cutoff valve for the heater, because it will burn you up if it's on during the summer. Yeah, air works great. We have a few valves back here that don't work exactly right for the air conditioning. That's another reason for having to cut that off during the summer. It just will not cool without that cut off. Put a new expansion valve, in the air condition. The evaporator on the inside of the car, everything's still original stuff. I have a friend. Those things are everywhere this summer. He'll probably fall on my face later while I'm under the car. But one of these headlights is still original Ford Motor Company. This one. This is still, right here, this is still an original Ford Motor Company headlight. The rest of them have been replaced, not by me. So, actually it's General Electric, but that is still, it's got Ford Motor Company on it. I think that's it. Had to replace these. This one was busted when I got the car. eBay find, new old stock. But all this stuff's original. What we're going after today is right there, that nut. I've got to get that off. There's two of them. The other one's right there. And those are the rods that have to be replaced. That run over there, just behind the spring, right there. This is not going to be fun, but I'm hoping I can get those off with what I've got. All right, let me get it jacked up, get some lights turned on in here, and we will, let's see, what was the date on this? $1987. Yeah, she's set from 1987 till 2023 before it was brought into the scrapyard. And like I said, rock down the sides. That is the only real rust this car has on it. Everything else is surface rust. Oh, my angles are not really all that great. This side has body damage. This is the worst rust patch that's going to have to be repaired. That's Bondo that somebody just gobbed in there. But it's all surface rust. It's not rusted through. That's all Bondo. They'll have to be taken off and fixed and redone. But all right. Me eat a snack, get some lights turned on, get the car jacked up, and we will come back. It's the stuff in it. That's still original interior. All the door panels. This seat has been recovered, and it was done with, stuff from like maybe the 80s, 70s. It's rotten. So I put a seat cover on. All the vinyl is still good, but the dash is cracked, but not just horribly. As you can see, the door panels, you know, are still really good. So let me get it up in the air so I can work on it, and I'll be right back. All right, now the car's up in the air. Get a better look. Strut rods go right over there and come to right there. And that rusty nut just they won't come off. If they could, I could just replace the bushings that go in there. And you can kind of see what's left of the rubber there. Let's see. And you can see how it's squished out here. So, yeah, she's greasy. Got a little bit of a leak on the transmission line still. But, you know, everything being original, it's not bad. It's the new fuel pump that I put on. And, there's the other rod over there. But it's kind of hard to see. Maybe you can see it. Yeah, it's wearing the inside edge of the tire here. And of course, I will have to do sway bar bushings at some point. But my intent is to put a bigger sway bar on it, because that little thing right there, this big boat, it'll sway with no problem. Right. Let's see what we can do. I know how YouTube despises music in these videos, but YouTube, the radio's on. I'm not paying for any of that. Nobody's paying for that. That is on the radio. That's free. Anyway, new parts, new bushings, new nuts, brand new shiny strut rods, and these magical things here are probably going to be the saving grace to get the nuts off of there. I'm going to try them with a wrench, just to try, because I did spray them down with some penetrating stuff and a couple months ago, and maybe it did its thing. I doubt it. We'll see. Not really sure what happened there. Push come to shove, I'll cut these rods back here where I can get a torch to it and bring it out this way. So we will see. Well, somehow I messed up and recorded myself setting the camera up, and y'all missed the really big snap when that sucker broke loose. But let me see if I can show you what I'm working with now. I'll try to get the snap on the other one. It moves. It broke loose. Thanks to this stuff here. You can't really get this anywhere that I know of. We get it directly from a supplier. I don't know of any other brand on the market that sells a comparable product to it. This is going to be the boring next couple of minutes, because this is how I got to get it off. You pull it through, loosen the rust up, get another bite, and do that. But if I can break the other side loose, this job just got a whole lot easier. But I know you guys don't want to sit here and watch me do this for the next 20 minutes. going to be slow. You just get something up in here, you know. And I don't think I have a 15/16 ratcheting wrench to speed this up, and even if I did, you can't work it back and forth to loosen the rust up. So I'm going to pause the video and get this the rest of the way off and turn the compressor on and get some air built up, because those down there I can get an impact on and break them loose. We'll get this side done pretty quick, knocked out, and I'll move on to the other side. I'll be back. I really wish that I wouldn't have messed up and recorded me setting the phone up and then hitting stop instead of record to record that massive pop when that broke loose. Hopefully that side will work just as good and I can catch it. Alright, I'll be back. Now, fast forward it a bit. One rusty nut. Surprisingly, it's not that bad shape. Who would have thought they put enough room to get everything out? That's been rubbing for a while. Definitely going to have to put these in first when I go back together, because the new ones are not going to come out of there. There we go. That is one very wore out bushing. I'll show you the difference in a little bit. But, alright. So now, look up in there, focus, there we go. That's where the rod is. That's where it come off. Now, can't get those off without taking that loose. We have 2 bolts right there. I'm gonna get the impact, pop them off, and then I'll show you comparison old and new. Maybe a little bit hard to hear because I've got the compressor running down there. But people can talk about Harbor Freight all they want to. I have been working out of one of these in my service truck for almost 6.5 years now. And for the price, you can't go wrong. I have broke 1/2 inch extension out of this whole kit, and to be perfectly honest, it was this one. Broke it in half, and I had a 4-foot long 1-inch drive pull handle adapted down to 1/2 inch, and the 1/2 inch extension broke. I can't complain about that. Now you're gonna watch me do something most people would throw a fit about. I'm putting an impact on this here chrome socket. Why? Because I don't have my impact sockets over here. So we're gonna get Dad's old Craftsman trusty tool here, and when that sucker over there builds up to 220 pounds of pressure, we're gonna give this We're gonna give this Pittsburgh a beating. And you know what? It's gonna take it. They're just tried and true. I have no problem with them. We at work have stuff off of Mac. We have Snap-on. We have old Craftsman here, and I have abused those Pittsburgh tools severely. They hold up. People can talk trash about them all they want to for being cheap Harbor Freight Chinese stuff, but proof's in the pudding. It's work tested on heavy machinery. They do their job. All right, when that noisy thing gets done over there, we're going to commence the whooping on that bolt and see if we can get it out. That's one. So much dirt build up. Oh, there we go. Can't hardly get the trench on the top. That's two. And here we have it. One old strut rod. Now, here's the question. Since this came off, I have new bushings. Do I put the old stuff back on, or do I put the new stuff on? Because the new stuff didn't come with those two bolts. And they look like they'll come out, but they may not. We may put these back on just to keep the car original. Eventually, I'm going to put an aftermarket suspension setup on this car that really should make it handle a lot better, lot beefier stuff. But that is way down the road, because that is about a $4,000 or $5,000 kit to do this whole car. It puts 4-link suspension on the rear end, new upper lower arms, everything, and coilovers. But no, not coilover. It puts adjustable suspension on the front. So I may put these back on now that I got them off. So I guess I need to work on that side now. It's just a repeat of this. But let's compare old and new now. All right, so here's the problem. This is what wore out. This is what it's supposed to look like. Now, there is an issue. I have it stuck in the bolts so the holes are lined up. And you see the offset. Something's different. Now, here's the thing. When I ordered these off Amazon, they said they fit like Fairlane's, Galaxy, maybe the Torino, several different cars. And I've done said that this car, this 1968 Custom, that's what this is, but it's a Galaxy, is a 1 year only, one body only car. When they say 1 year only, they made the Galaxies and Customs many years, but this body was only made 1 year. 68 was different. Oh, this is a 68. 67 was different. 69 was different. Parts don't interchange. 69 may have a couple of pieces because they were similar, but a lot of this is the only thing it was built and used on. I think we just found another part, so the likelihood of that being bent are slim to none. Before I put this back on, I'm going to take that side off as well and double check it. I want to make sure that the other side has this same difference. If it does, I'm putting the old part back on, because that one is either going to change the suspension geometry, if I can get it on there, because what it's going to do is change the amount of pressure that's being put on this rod from up here. It's going to, and it may make it really, really hard to put back on, because that may not even line up with the hole. So I'm going to see what that size looked like, and if it looks exactly like this when I get it off, we're going back with the old stuff. The threads are good. They cleaned up just perfectly fine. The threads inside the nut are perfect. I'm really surprised as stuck as it was. But this is reusable. And I have these in a kit laying over on the table behind me that I bought before I bought the new rods. Will I get rid of this or send it back? No, I'll keep it. Who knows? I may need that on something else. I may end up with a Fairlane or something at some point and need them. Ford's used that on a lot, or used this design on a lot of cars. So let's take the other side off and see what we've got over there. I'm gonna finish eating my nabs over there, and it's probably not what they're called, but if you're from the South and you say, hey, I'm gonna get a pack of nabs, everybody knows that the 15 different flavors or more are all called nabs. So I'm gonna eat those and see if I can get the other side off and do a little more comparing, and I'll be back. If you're wondering what I'm doing, I'm getting the car key out of this side. I'm pressing the top end back together where it was bent so it wouldn't fall out. Now I'm pretty sure on the other side I've had that car key over there out before. This one, no, I have not. Now, for any of you that don't know what the carter key is there for, it's there to go with this castle nut to keep it from backing off. I may have to get something different what I'm using to get this one out. I'm worried I'm gonna break it. Yeah, we'll get something different. Well, I'm at war with my phone today. I got the carter key out. I done had this slip off twice. I gotta get something a little bit different to add some leverage to this. Try to break this nut loose. I was gonna show pulling that carter key out, but what I've got propping my phone up so you can actually see under the car while I'm working on it keeps pressing buttons on the screen, so it keeps turning it off. I'm gonna try to keep it from doing that. I really want y'all to see when this finally does give up and break loose how loud it's going to snap. So let me go grab something else, put on this wrench, and I'll be back. New camera prop. Let's see if this works. Yeah, it does. Anybody see where the other wrench went? It moved, I think. I was only standing on it. It did move. Good. Well, it broke loose. Alright, once again, I'm gonna not bore y'all with doing this, because it takes a while. This one's a little more rusty than the other one was. So, in the next 5-10 minutes, I'm gonna be doing this. Now, that doesn't make for a good video. I could probably speed it up, but I don't know how to do that yet. Now, if I got limited memory, so I'd rather show y'all interesting stuff than boring me shaking a wrench back and forth. So I will return once the nut is off. Alright. It didn't take too long, but it was slow. Once again, Threads look good. Many years of driving have worn those out. So once again, I'm gonna get the impact out, zip those off. I'm not gonna record that. Get it off, and I will see. Well, maybe I will record it. I don't know what y'all like to see and what you don't like to see. Let's see how well it's aimed. That should work. Sorry for the lens flare. Let's see. Oh, that helped a little. That. Hairline. Looking at putting you in on this. This one doesn't like to fit. Yeah, let me go get an extension. There we go. Down a little. Let's see if the back one will come off. Run the air down enough to get the compressor turned back on. We're a little bit low on air. And it's going to take everything and get it off. try that again. Rough first one. Just gotta be maxed out. Alright, I didn't get to let you see it. Got both nuts off. Focus. It's messing with it. But the threads are fine on both of them. The chrome socket survived. It's hot, but it survived. And that is an old impact. Sears hasn't sold stuff like that in a long time. So let's go. Let's see if we can work this one up out of here. Out. And let's see if it's the same as the other. Man, these things are wore out. Yep, can't do that one-handed. Yeah, something different. Same thing. So I'm gonna focus. There we go. I'm gonna stick one up to the car and just see what it looks like off camera. But we're probably going back together with the old rods. Something's just shouldn't be that much difference in them. All right, I'll be back. All right, they're different. It's enough of a difference that it doesn't fit the car. So we're going with the old stuff. Need to clean up my workbench over here. But you're supposed to have a guard. I'm not even standing by it. I got a guard on that side if I was grinding. Okay, I'm gonna clean the other side up just like that. That's the original spare to this car. And then we will put these new kits on and stick it back on. And then we'll drive it and go get some lunch. Woo! Okay. Let's see if I can do this one-handed. Focus. Your cup. There we go. New versus old. Wore out. Let me see if I can shove this under there. I've got to force, I got to get these two pieces on as I shove it through the hole in there, because there's not enough room to put this back where that came from. Not with the rod stuck through. So I'm gonna do that. I'll try to get it on camera. Let's see, what are y'all looking at? That'll work. Yeah, let's see how bad of a fight this is going to be. Ooh. Yeah, we're going to get creative, it looks like. Maybe I can pull it in once I get this in. Yeah, some of those fancy open-end ratchet wrenches would work real good for this. I need to invest in some. Compressing that new rubber. Yeah, that boring part that I told you I wasn't going to subject y'all to. Yep, this is it. Hopefully I can see what I was doing. I'm sure there's going to be some people critique this and say, oh, you could have done it this way. You know, yeah, there might be a quicker way. Probably is. If I could get where I could see the nut, it would help. But some of y'all get a laugh out of me missing it, I'm sure. Look at this amateur. There's no way he's a actual mechanic. Well, I am. At least I pretend to be one through the week. Work on a lot of stuff bigger than this. By profession, heavy equipment and 18-wheelers. Kind of question why I like to do this stuff on the weekends. You know, you turn wrenches all week, you manage 200 pieces of equipment, and you're wore out. You don't want to do anything. You're tired. You're sick of doing it. And yet, here I am, turning wrenches on the weekend. But there's something about these old cars, the simplicity of them, that makes life so much better working on them. Yep, I wasn't watching that. Now I gotta twist it to get it back in the hole. Alright, I'm going to get a pair of channel locks, maybe some vice grips, and twist that because I wasn't paying attention. And I'm not going to do that without something to grab it. So, I'll be right back once again. Alright, I'm almost there. No, I'm going wrong because I'm looking at it backwards from what I was doing on it. Why didn't y'all correct me? Hey, dummy. Lefty loosey, righty tighty. Just gotta be close. Right there. Okay. This is going to create. I gotta do something a little creative because I gotta get this out. I get this A-arm to go back about 1/8 of an inch, which is why she's wearing tires. That's exactly why it's wearing tires. If that moved forward, it's letting the steering linkage back there pull the tires out, causing it to wear the inside of the tire. So I gotta look around and see what I can find. There's a ratchet strap laying over there on the floor. I'm gonna hook it to this, hook it back there to something, and start ratcheting and pull this A-arm back. Let me get it hooked up. Okay, let me show you what I got going on here. Pair of vice grips to twist it. Back there, a ratchet strap. Pull this arm back so I can get those two bolts. Sorry, it's hard to get in place. to go back in the hole. I have, let's see if I can get the camera. Got the nuts right there. See if you can see them. Got the nuts started. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take ratchet and pull them down into place so I can get the lock nuts back on them. Put lock nut on the back one, not lock nut, lock washer, and I'll run it up, take the front one off, put the lock washer on it. And you're probably saying, oh, your bushings must be wore out on the A-arm. Well, it may be, but it didn't have to move it much to make this line up. And they don't seem to be wore out. I'm going to look at that later. If that requires taking this up here loose. And it doesn't appear to be an issue as of yet. And like I said, I really want to put different suspension under here. So I'm trying to not spend a whole bunch of money on stuff that doesn't need to be replaced, just to make this a driver again. And with this car will be a driver again. I do have a pretty bad transmission leak, but it appears to be a pan gasket. And there again, I don't want to spend a bunch of money on this C4 transmission because I have a mixture of a, what is it, EO4D, I think is what it's, no, there's a W in there somewhere. Anyway, it's a transmission out of a 99 Explorer that has the tail shaft of an AOD out of a 94 Mustang, built to go in this car. I have to get the electronic controller and put it on here to be able to control that transmission. But that's going to give this car an overdrive. And there's people that say, oh, you don't need to do stuff to old cars, leave them the way they are. Well, here's my view on it. Had overdrive transmissions existed when this car was built, it would have had one, but they didn't. And I want to be able to drive this car. I want to be able to take trips in this car. And if you're wondering what I'm doing, there's a hole in that rod right there that I gotta get lined up so I can put a pin in it. And the problem I'm having, let's get in your way, there we go, it's lined up, is that I'm half blind, getting older, and these glasses that I'm wearing are for seeing at a distance. There's a brand new car key over here on the floor somewhere that I brought with me that I can't find. There it is. And I don't have the glasses with me that I need to be able to see. At this distance. So I'm kind of working as blind as you are, where you're sitting and watching me do this stuff. Alright, now I'm bending the Carter key down so that it holds everything in place. I really hope y'all didn't get to see me making all those weird faces. Just like so. And we have the new bushings installed. Now I gotta get the these are next. Right here. Focus. Screeny. Anyway, I'm about to put drag link, that is not a drag link, sway bar bushings in here next. So I'm going to go get the ratchet strap off, go ahead and put it over there on that side because I know I'm going to need it, and we'll repeat the process over there, and then we'll go for a drive. Alright, for the sake of time, I went ahead and did this side too. Got it done, got it knocked out of the way. I really wish that there's such a bad glare on my phone. There we go. Okay, so while we're at the car in high enough air, there's the what's left of the factory exhaust. It was kind of rotten behind here. Come back. H pipe right at the back of the transmission. Goes back. 240 series Flowmasters. And as I said, it turns down right in front of the rear end. Oh, come on around. Back of the car. I did have to put a new gas tank in it. As I said, it was rotten. And it's where the exhaust dumps. But the trunk, I have a dirt dauber problem. But as you can see, the new braided or stainless steel brake lines. The only one that didn't get replaced was the one that runs to the back of the car from the front. Let's see if I can get under here. Take it back. I did replace it. I didn't replace the fuel line. Actually, no, I did not replace the brake line going to the rear of the car because that's it there. But it got everything else new. New lines, new flex lines. This is the well, I run out of battery and I run out of storage on my card, but everything went together good. It rides better than it did. It drives better than it did. The air is blowing nice cold air. I'm gonna run to town and get something to eat. Like I said, I'm about to starve and it's hot and I need something to drink too. I'll let y'all stick with me and get it out on the highway. Let you see how she's doing. Nice thing is AC is working. That was money well spent. I like to say it was cheap, but it was not. It was nowhere near cheap. And if y'all are wondering, look at this. She got 105,000 miles on her. And from the looks of it, the motor has never been out. Transmission does slip a little bit going into third. And I wouldn't even call it a slip. It just doesn't like to shift into third unless you let off of it. Little Transx take care of that. And as you can hear, it's got some wind noise around the window sills. But, you know, cruising down the road at 60 miles an hour. Hand off the steering wheel. Not really pulling. So I call that a win. Hope y'all enjoyed this. If you do, like, share it. You know the stuff to do. I'm trying to make a YouTube channel. Gotta have that type of thing. And if I happen to work on that truck, I'll get it on video for you. Y'all have a good one.